Hello. How are we all doing? Uh, Welcome to the free show. sense. Hey everyone. Yes, I may or may not have fallen asleep, and thank you, Kelly. Which is ironic because we legit just talked about this for breakfast. But anyway, I'm here. Oh man, like, I it's so weird. I always wake up right at like when I'm late for work. It's always, and then for a second, hold on, this one, uh, I get my camera fixed. Sophie was here playing with all my buttons, and and she didn't break anything, but she definitely uh, played with a couple about like she was just pushing everything she could find. Uh, so yeah, I'm here, but let me see. Hold on. Yeah, today was a little bit weird because like I got after breakfast, which was fucking delicious. I went to the post office because it's like the first time I had to mail a bunch of stuff out for Patreon stuff. So you guys, your books are coming. Um, Megan doesn't listen to this one. Megan family. Hers should be there by Wednesday. Oh, someone mind pocket that real quick for me. I need to write that down. I don't understand. Uh, oh shit. There it goes. Give me 2 seconds. Told you. Let me think. 'Cause every time I say I write it down, I never do. Oh, this works. Okay. Anyway. Huh. Anyway. Let's get this one back on. Try to get our life together over here. Good Lord, everybody. Hello. Uh, I'll be watching Wednesday. YouTube. YouTube. Like, I think I need to get a new PlayStation. Hey, put that on my list, Mom. Christmas ideas. A new PlayStation or gift cards towards the PlayStation. Uh, it would be my luck that the year we decide not to do a bunch of adult gifts, I don't get a PlayStation. Um, Everything's loading but YouTube. I guess I'll just go it this way. I like to have my computer on. The the TV. Okay, so let's turn this thing all the way up. Skipping 4. Like it's so funny watching the numbers, the view numbers, because every once in a while, it would just what did it come from like 4 to 8? That's all you guys like, get added. which is weird. I don't know why you guys get added so much. I mean, I guess. Um, search. Chasing. Back. Nope, wrong back. Chasing. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Lives, Whimsy Nooners. How are we all doing? Uh, I'm slowly, uh, like it's cool that like a handful of you are like, where the hell has it been? It's 12:01. I'm here. I finally made it. But continue this. Okay. Anyway, uh, uh, why does it keep defaulting back that screen? That's weird. What did Sophie do to this thing? Okay, it can't be me accidentally pushing it. Anyway, how are we all doing? Oh, Nooners, the show that I can fall asleep right before it starts. Okay, not I got back from the post office like 9:15. Dude, and I passed out. Boom. Like I didn't even have time to set an alarm. I had no phone on. Uh oh, it's because I kicked my socks off. Kicked the socks off, and it was over. I didn't. And then like my internal clock is like, you're supposed to be awake. That's what I was trying to say during the pre-show. It's like it sucks because I'm always awake when I'm either supposed to be at work, like the minute I'm supposed to be at work, I wake up, or just past the uh, it's too late to call out notice. So that always sucks. But whatever. All right, Nooners, what are we doing today? It's a weird week. I did a lot, but I did nothing. Uh, talk about what I've done this week. If there's anything I'm watching, and then the rabbit hole. What's in my pocket at the end? So I think. All right, let's get started because I got to figure out uh, the issue I'm having with the Mondays. But I think I got it kind of figured out. Maybe. We'll see. Oh my god, I dropped it. Um, I did buy. It's worthy of the next slide. Hold on. Getting to know me. So when I start learning about, um, not learning, but you guys hear about my week. My week. That's crazy. You know what we should do? I should tell you what I did this week, and then you guys all have to guess what I Googled to come up with that image. So it was like probably midweek even, where I was like, "Oh, that's why it looks weird." Stand by. I noticed a slight weird glare off the side and not in my eye. Um, so day job, more alert and focused. Like I'm pretty good as it is, but like this week it was like +1, +2. And I was just like knocking out work. I made a comment earlier this week to somebody. They were like, "Well, you're always pretty good at it." I'm like, "No, but not like this kind of level." And then shipping and receiving, the Tuesday, Wednesday were like I was busier Tuesday, Wednesday than I was Friday and Saturday, which was weird because I love Wednesday. Wednesday at shipping and receiving is my favorite place to be because it is the slowest. It was still really slow. I just had more. I had more orders to put in, um, but very slow, very calm. It was just a like almost gave away the description of my Google search here. I was at work. I was really busy at both of them. But I'm pretty sure I looked up um, at work busy. Or no, I just put busy at work, and this is one of the ones I came up with. That's actually a really fun idea because I do randomly just I pick from time to time just a random image. Like I did the teeth, the car problem, and there was another one semi early on that I would I would just type it in. Oh, brainstorming when I was thinking a bunch. So I'm gonna I'll remember that, and I'll put this. I'll remember what the search was for sure. This one was busy at work, but it's weird because I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm on the table like freaking out, but I definitely feel like I was running around a bunch, talking like you guys can see the screen, like my TV, but you can. Anyway, uh, so yeah, that was my day, my week. It was just, which is weird because the second I start focusing on next whimsy steps, they're like, no, 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 you're not ready yet. And then they're like, slow me down. Because um, I don't do, like, I do a lot of the thinking and some prep work overnight where I'll put a show together, I'll look up ideas, I'll work on some of the AI stuff. And I put it all together throughout the weekend or Saturday and or Monday. So like the fact that this week was just like a little extra was a little bothersome. I had everything like I don't understand it. This is what freaks me out, man. And I don't know if freak out's the right word, but the Saturday show was ready and scheduled early. Today, the show was scheduled early. Like I had it up before I went to mom's. Um, Everything was ready. Like it's so weird that I feel rushed, but yet the basics are still getting handled faster, like somewhere on a subconscious level. I'm gauging how fast I am at the two jobs and any downtime. It's like putting itself together, knowing that I won't have all of Wednesday to just diddle around doing God knows what. Uh, Yeah, and I even did like extra shipping and receiving work. I was putting boxes together and like labels together. Like I was doing extra all week. Freaks me out, man. I don't know why that. Who am I? Um, Not on here, but part of the busy too is okay. There's the space from here to here. Okay, is empty all the way down to the floor. So I was spent some time this morning, even shopping for a new shelving thing here. Got it. That's where this computer is going to go. Right here. Boom. Because I like this elbow space, man. Here's what I found out. This desk, it's a little light on the elbow space. Not bad. Like, um, there's a C clamp shelf that I can get right here. Oh, if I pull the drawer out, and I can put a piece of. All right. Yeah, I'm still working with it. So yeah, go figure. So that's coming in the mail. I also got something else new in the mail, or coming in the mail. Uh, I mentioned I went to the post office. How much it costs to send stuff in the post office? It's a mind pocket because I have to deep dive on this later. If you have something media, uh, the guy before me had records that he was mailing out, and I had a book. Media pricing is significantly cheaper than everything else by like almost like 60, like 40%. But the book, here's what's interesting. Someone needs to write this down is how much does it cost to send a book, because we were always talking about like the cost of things and like where my price point is. It costs $5 to ship a book. So uh, we'll keep all that in mind. And then I had to send a couple people. Um, I sent J Sergeant Jeff a little something something. Um, Somebody else got was a month behind, and now they're a month ahead. $7. Like it's $7 to send a random package. Like there has to be a better way to ship things. Um, I don't do it as consistent, so I know I don't have to do the subscription service yet, like stamps.com, because like it would have paid for itself for 2 months. But I don't know how much more stuff I'm shipping out for the next 2 months. Um, but yeah, I wrote it down at some point in the pretty early next week or the week after. We're gonna go deep dive on the postal service because there's a lot of things I don't fully understand about the postal service anymore. And then I realized maybe I never fully understood the postal service. And now it's like a dying industry, which is weird. Oh, I can do like a 20-minute deep dive on the postal service, like a brief history, the effects of 9/11 with it, the housing market, and it was mostly 9/11. And then like why we can get rid of it, but we probably could and should maybe. And then uh like I just don't know how things like it would like here's the teaser for next week. The stuff I just delivered, I just sent to the post office. I have no idea how it physically gets from that building to J Sarge's door. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Boom, moving on. Uh okay. I'm gonna go a little cryptic with this one. Mind Pockets on Saturday. I mentioned I met celebrity, like a celebrity that I actually enjoy his particular work. Up there with like Kevin Smith, but he's not as super well known as Kevin Smith. But he's big in like weird indie. Like I don't know. I know who he is, and I've known who he is for years. So I didn't tell you what movie this is, and I'm not telling you which person it is that I saw this week. So with as busy as it was, I did find like 10 minutes to chat with this person. Um, and then he gave me a screener. He's like, here's a number, text it. I'll send you 3 episodes of my show. So I texted it, and I didn't think it was. I thought it was maybe like more of like an automated thing, but I think it's actually his number. So now I have this guy's number. Uh, yeah, that's Christopher Walken. Dude, hold on, I never paid attention to this picture. That's Christopher Walken, Ricky Schroeder. I forget. Uh, I forget his name, and then that is um, Clint Eastwood's daughter. That's funny. Ches P, I think is the Italian. Um, so I text him. I get the screener. I want to call it a screener. It was a fucking link with like a handful of things on it, and uh, so I'm obviously looking up the TV show because I was like I semi follow some stuff in the works. Found the show. It was listed as a different name on IMDb. DB. Kelly's in my head now. IMDb database DB. Yeah. Um. So it's under a different name there. But I watched it. It was like 3 episodes. So it was 3 episodes. There were 44, 38, and like 49 minutes. Uh, I enjoyed it. It had a semi entourage feel to it. There was even a reference to it. It's a little meta, but I really did enjoy the show. Not just because it was his. I don't know if or when it's ever gonna like get fully released, but uh though I don't have to be cagey about it. I just choose to. One of the things was he's like, "Hey, I'll send you the link. You just can't show anybody else." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Absolutely." I didn't say that I did a podcast, uh, not until like way later. Um, and I was like, "So, like, I wasn't like I'm a podcaster. I got journalistic integrity, so I didn't do one of those things." But um, there's a certain level, right, of God, how long ago was it that when we did that? What were we talking about? The first time I brought up generalistic integrity. It had to have been a very similar situation. Oh, the archive recordings, right? So like this the pre interview stuff that I did. I talked to two cousins and I talked to Mike. So it was one of those things where I'm like, hey, I'm recording it for me and nobody else. Um, so the same thing is like I gotta build that trust, right? Because like if I say too much now, then the next celebrity, like I go to Chronicon, Ming Chen's not giving me screeners, Kevin Smith's not giving me screeners. So and I just like to be a little cagey about it because that's the kind of attitude I am in today. So um but yeah, 3 episodes. So here's something super interesting. 10 years, 20 years down the road. Let's even go longer than that. Let's go like 30. And then out of nowhere, there's this like it feeds into the lost media thing. Like 30 years from now, they're like, hey, uh, this person passed away. Let's look at his career. And then they're like, yeah, there was this long lost series, 3 episodes that they had that just never got released. And we don't have any copies of it. And then I do. Well, kind of. I have a link. Okay. So the small flaw in my system is 30 years from now, I hope that my link still works. Like I can go on Reddit, okay? I'm like, hey everybody, I got the link. I'm like, ooh, send it over. And they're like, dude, this is a dead link from 25 years ago. I'll be like, oh yeah. Well, I did watch it and I could tell you what it looked like. And then that would be 30 years removed. So God knows what my mind's going to look like in 30 years. So who knew? But it was interesting to like part of it, like the idea too, like he gave me a link for 3 episodes and like I didn't try to play it off like I'm some like movie TV podcaster. I was just like a fan. That's what was amazing about this guy. He, I think, 100% genuinely appreciated my fandom. Like I wasn't over the top or anything. I didn't ask for an autograph. Um, but he comes up. I give him his last name, first name before he even says it. Kind of looks at me a little bit. I'm like, I know who you are, and kind of like just like and like, oh, see, Kelly knows this stuff, right? Because she's worked with me for a minute. So I'm just like, John Smith, big fan, liked you, and then like I just like like a weird negging almost, where it's like I'm a big fan, but not enough to like stop working. Um, yeah, that was cool. I don't know, like it was a random like week, man. At some point, oh, so what's interesting now though is he's familiar with me now. Like we've shared like uh, uh like we're connected by a thing in which I am like I have a link to 3 episodes that nobody else has seen. But in our text exchange, because I like a thank you letter basically, but like a text like, hey man, thanks for giving me the opportunity to check it out. Like I enjoy it. I can see like I love the callbacks to some of your older stuff. Thank you, appreciate it. And he's like, hey, and then like he was like, hey, thank you, kind words. Yeah, we're working on something. Um, he's like, thanks, see you soon. Not like a see you soon, like I got a job for you, but kind of like a it won't be impossible to ever see each other again. So I don't know. But that's all I have for the week. Like the most boring podcast, like getting to know me, like I can have. Like I only have 2 slides. I had to like Hail Mary a post office in there somewhere. Um, Work was busy. It was weird. Okay, hold on. I'll give you another little anecdote from this week. It wasn't worth a slide. So one of the jobs, they're working on the new system. They're working on creating a new system. And one of the things his boss is like, hey, we're gonna get you guys early beta access. And he's like, "Yeah, need you guys to get in there and play around and see through what we need to tweak and customize to our needs." Uh, so that's the idea. Like in a week or two, I'll get access to it. But there's a small group of people that are in there now, kind of working on the very early stages of it, like the outlines and like everything. And then at one point, somebody was like, "Why is Ben not in here?" And they're like, and like I can just imagine people being like, "What do you mean? Why is Ben not in here?" I was able to get like an early dude, like early access week. That's what oh my god. Second thing I got early access to. I got to look at the new system and I'm like, because Kelly and I did this stuff. Like we were really good at like identifying huge flaws in what you got tech company coming in saying you want this our product. And then you got like the upper management of that like num 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 num. They just eat everything that these companies come in with. So they're like, yeah, we'll take it. And then they're like, they get excited because like, oh man, we're running a new system. And then like Ben a little jaded to be like, this thing's broken. But the idea is why you want Ben in these meetings, especially early on, is the idea is we need someone that will come in and look at this system and break it, right? The idea, like part of the idea is like as you're working out the bugs and kinks, is once it goes live and like 100 people are touching the thing, that it's not going to like break and crash the whole system. So like it's weird. Like I'm like a catch a thief. That's like you need me to come in and be like, let me just show you where all uh, your flaws in your system are, right? Uh, but yeah, I got early access to it for a second, and I was in there for like 20 minutes, half hour, dude. I wasn't breaking it necessarily, but I was like, this is. I was looking at it. I'm like, these are all cool features, and I can see why tech promoted it and why boss enjoys it because it makes some sense. But then you also have that moment where I'm like, you don't need it. Just because it would be a cool feature, you don't need it. But it was interesting. It was fun. So hopefully I get to be part of the get in there and break it team. I was wondering if you guys pick up my slipper or not. Anyway, so yeah, it was a weird week, man. Why do I look so squinty? Like I just realized, like I just like I think part of it's the light. It's like legit my face. All right. I think that's all we got for the week. It wasn't like it was a busy week, but it was like very manageable. It just did not allow me a lot of free time to work on Whimsy. So regular life came in and was like, "Hey, Whimsy, you're now confined to just Ben's head for the week. You can't really work on stuff." But which is fine. Every once in a while, I need a step back and then realize I want to do something on the post office.
Tired of the same old predictable podcasts? Dive headfirst into the wonderfully weird world of Mind Pockets. Ever wonder what goes on inside the mind of a slightly off-kilter individual? Join host Ben as he unlocks the chaotic collection of thoughts, ideas, and random musings he's captured throughout the week. Each week, Ben unleashes the Mind Pockets, a playback of the week's most bizarre and brilliant internal monologues. He'll react, analyze, and unravel the madness, giving you a front row seat to the unpredictable landscape of his brain. Get ready to explore the uncharted territories of Ben's mind. Mind Pockets every Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the Chasing the Whimsy YouTube channel.
I got another piece of journalistic integrity for you guys. All right. I have seen. Okay, so Kelly, weirdly, is like she's more graphic designer than I am, but she'll never accept that title yet. We had ideas for the Mind Pocket logo. Like it's 90% good. There's this one piece that we're like, hey, maybe we consider like here's this floating out an idea. And instead of like whatever, fuck it, go with my she's like elbow deep in like the lore of this missing piece. She's drawing a bunch of it by like freehanding it. So I had a chance to take a picture of it. I didn't because she's working through her process. So I'm like, I respect that process. Watch her do it. I did bring it up yesterday, and she's just like, there's so much work to do on it. She's like, there's so much. Um, so she and with school starting, now it's a new school, then there's new routines. So she's just like, I didn't work on any of it. Fuck you, Ben. Um, but yeah, there's a piece of that logo that's going to be like kind of sick. Could we find like a because the mind pocket itself is the jeans with the bend popping out. So the leather tag could just be a simplistic version of what you're working on, and then later we can get the bigger, just the tag. Um, because I think the problem is like when you got your sheet and you got the full detailed one, like I don't know how well it will shrink down. I don't know. Like, who am I to tell you what to do? You do you. But yeah, that's some new. She's working on a new logo, so that's why she's a graphic designer. She doesn't realize like. Okay, what time is it on this slide? Hold on, because I'll come back. Okay, at 11:45. Okay, the next bit after the TVs, I'll show you mine, and you can look at hers. We'll compare graphic design. Okay, and this is why she has more graphic design, like uh, like bona fides than I do. All right. Anyway, boom, TV, nothing on. There's almost nothing on. I did watch Wednesday season 2. Now, here's what's interesting about. I did not call this one, okay, but I have seen this happen twice now on Netflix. Okay, so I'm getting you guys all hip to a possible upcoming trend. Part of the problem with binge TV is that Wednesday season 1 comes out and then you watch the whole thing like twice. I know Liam watches Squid Games 2 or 3 times, but then he doesn't come back to it again. And then when season 2 comes out, he's back in it. So part of the problem with binging is mom does this. Mom's okay with it. Like mom will watch the whole thing, and when the new season comes out, she'll rewatch it. So there are handfuls of people that have the rewatchability to go back and get it, right? That's probably the most ideal way. I would assume that the studios would want it, but I don't go back and rewatch season 1 before I watch season 2, even though it's been like a year and a half. But what we're going to start to see is interesting. You can binge it, but they're breaking up season 2 into 2 parts, and they're only separated by a couple of weeks. It's not like a 6 month type thing. They're all done. I think this is their way to kind of like this is a very Ben thing to do. Is you put about half of the episode so everybody falls in love with it again, and now you're on top. And then in a couple of weeks you release season 2 or part 2 of season 2, and then you're back on top again. So like, how do you get Wednesday to stay on the top of the charts for like multiple weeks? Is you give everybody 5 episodes, let it rise to the top for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then right when it starts to come down, boom, you hit them with part 2, and now Wednesday's back up again for another 3 weeks. So now it's like 6 or 8 weeks that Wednesday's going to stay on top in the top 10 because they slow roll the second half. I totally I appreciate that and I approve. If you're going to binge, you should break it up across 4 to 6 weeks. If I'm watching 10 hours of TV like on a weekend, it's dirty. So break it up into 5 so that way I can watch some like before I get to the weekend. I can hang out the weekend. Like I don't feel so like TV gluttonous. I don't like TV gluttonous. I like gluttonous, viewing gluttonous. My view gluttony, a TV gluttony, TV gluttony. Yeah, we're gonna go with my viewing like well TV's fine. Yeah, I just don't like the like I'll watch all 10 episodes like because like I enjoy it, but then when you're done, you're like, oh, I'm still hungry, but I already had season 2. I don't want another season two. So the idea that they kind of break it up into two parts, I wonder if you're going to start seeing that from Netflix more. Um, and I think they will change the pattern that I've been predicting for the last 2 years. Like a lot of places are dropping down to 6 or 8 episode seasons, um, 2 episode premieres. So I think Netflix is the trendsetter. I think Netflix is going to start setting the standard that says binge TV, you only get half at a time. Keep an eye on that because I would be curious um, on how many other shows outside of Netflix will do it. Oh, I guess I could talk about Wednesday real quick. It was good. It was all right. Um, it has the same tone as season one, but it doesn't have the kooky. That's ah, the original theme song. But there's something in their cookie, kooky. There, what is the original theme song? Something ooky. I like the idea that they have to come up with the rhyme for kooky and ooky. The Adams Family. What's the first line? They're and spooky and ooky. But yeah, this one is they got Pugsley in there. They gave Pugsley kind of a big like B story, I guess. I think that will play more into like the hints, like be some decent writing on the second part of this. I might be okay with it. I might be applauding soon. There was a weird throwaway story. Just fucking threw it away. And then Pugsley kind of tags up on it like an episode later, and then they never talk about it again. I am curious on how they wrap up part two. It's interesting. It was fun. It just wasn't as kooky as the first one was. It was a little bit more like murder mystery, like some of the kooky isn't hitting as much as it was the first time. The pickup, that is Pete Davidson, Eddie Murphy, and I don't know her name. Okay, this is an Amazon movie, like straight to Amazon, dude. The first like 5 minutes of this thing were fucking hilarious. Um, it's just a buddy cop like B movie. It was there's almost like one of the things I was gonna try to do for Mondays, and I'm trying to stay away from it because it's like my last default, and this is the one I was supposed to ask Kelly about, but I completely forgot. I was reading reviews on this, and like people were like, "Oh, this is Eddie Murphy's worst movie." There's nothing about this movie that ever suggested that this was anything more than they wanted it to be. Like this was not going to be the next Lethal Weapon, um, the next like even Metro way back in the day. Anybody remember Metro? Like he he just does these weird buddy cop movies, and this is like like weird B movies. Like people are just like so hard against this movie, and I'm like, it was never going to be more than what it 100% wasn't going to be. This movie was fan. I loved it. It was fun. Pete Davidson is like fucking a genius. I fucking love him. It's on Amazon. It's like a buck 50. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Um, because I knew what it was. And I think that's kind of like where I was with Happy Gilmore too. Is like it was all cameo, it was all fan service, but it was also it was like Adam Sandler. It was like I'm gonna make this movie because people have been asking for it, and I'm just gonna put in a bunch of friends and family and the people that fucking I love and like want around me in this movie. And he just shot a movie with just that. Like that was all that movie was ever going to be. Like Adam Sandler dad of two, married, old, nostalgic because he's old. He's never gonna make like another Billy Madison that's gonna be as relevant than it was back in like 96, 97. So like, yeah, you get these weird, goofy movies, and I think you just enjoy them because, like, well, yeah, and he did because he was doing Hustle was really good. Gemstone, the Gem movie. Like he does serious stuff, but like in his comedy, I don't know if he's like. I'm sure he has another one in him somewhere. But like when the idea though, when you're gonna go back to your old toys of Happy Gilmore was exactly what it was supposed to be. And that's kind of like what this movie was, and why I don't understand people hating on movies that was exactly what it was supposed to be. Uncut Gems, thank you. Um, like why poop on an actor, a director? Like to make a movie, you have to hire a bunch of people to work on it. Like bad movies create jobs. So as much as you hate that movie, like it fed somebody's family for the year or for a couple of weeks or a month. Craft service got to go out and do something. They're making something that they enjoy. They're not stuck at work fucking a job they hate. So I'm down for a B movie. That's all I'm trying to get at. We need more of them because we remember the B movies more than we remember any of the other movies sometimes. Like if you were gonna have a movie night, right? And you were like, hey, let's pick old movies. Like you might not go back to like the blockbuster, but you're gonna go back to like the weird, goofy, hidden gem. Um, so I enjoyed it. The pickup, I thought it was hilarious. The first 5 minutes got me, man. Absolutely hilarious. I love Pete Davidson, man. What was the third thing I watched? Oh yeah, Game Changers. Kelly, Megan told me about it. I was like semi familiar with it, but then like this week I went a little deep dive on it, like watching full episodes on YouTube. But you have to go to like Dropout to find the better oh, you have to pay the subscription for it. If you have not watched Game Changers, I highly suggest that you find a random day, or if you're in the bathroom, or like right before bed, like if you got like a random hour that you just don't need, jump online, check out Game Changers. It's an improv show where you got this Sam guy who's like, he's got his contestants up there behind like a regular game show, behind the podium. He's giving out like these arbitrary fucking points. But he gives them these prompts that are like super, super funny. And then like there's a bunch, he's been out for a while, but then he creates all this like lore and stuff a little bit. Like Brendan, you gotta like pick on Brendan a little bit. But he brings in all these like improvers, and then a couple seasons they got like the hardcore, like not hardcore, they got like your B comedians, which was super interesting. The show was funny. This goes back to the Mind Pocket on Monday, on Saturday. As much fun as he's having, I'm like, I would like to do that. Like, I would love the idea of getting like the kids, like Nikki, Megan, and we create this weird game show. But there was a part of me that was like, I don't know if it, like, there's a reason why you don't see hundreds of these things out there, because I think we're all lacking that improv training to really hit it off. But doesn't mean I'm not going to try it. Let's just be fair to that. Um, Game Changers. Game Changers is a game changer. Check it out. Like it'll change your life. Um, see, I said that wrong. I should have went Game Changers. It'll change your life. It's a game changer. Man, man, I almost had it. See, that's the quick response. Like, hmm, the game show they're putting on right now for Jacob is cool. Um, I don't know all of their names. Can you? Is there a freer place, or is there a free option on Dropout? I never even considered looking at that. Like the show is not bad. Like it really is genius. Like it's genius the way that we thought Whose Line Is It Anyway in the early 2000s was genius. This is the natural progression and growth of what improv would be. It started and like part of me like enjoys the show because it's the idea of like they started off super small. They worked with College Humor. Um, it's like the first couple of seasons were all like legit online, very basic like production value, but it was super good. And now it's like this phenomenon. They did a bunch of stuff through the COVID and everything else. Um, I don't know. It really is a good show. You should check it out. It's on YouTube.
Get ready to meet your new favorite storyteller. Introducing the brand new podcast, Storytime with Mr. C. For most of his life, Mr. C has found pure joy in sharing tales with friends, family, students, even strangers. Now, he's bringing that lifelong passion directly to your ears. On Storytime with Mr. C, you'll join him as he digs up forgotten classics, hopefully creates some wonderful new ones, convinces a few special guests to share their incredible experiences, and takes us all back to the very beginning of what makes a great story. Find Storytime with Mr. C today on Spotify. Prepare to be amazed, entertained. It's more than just a podcast. It's an invitation to simply hang out, connect, and remember the simple pleasure of a well-told story.
All right, so that one is the good one. I'll send him new copies of that. A new episode came out today. Good. Um, Again, very noticeable that he's very much enjoying podcasting now. Um, it's fun because we were able to kind of there was a discussion for a minute trying to break down his process on how he records because I did tell him that he records it in two separate sections. So there was an idea that part of it was maybe like pre-record stuff, but then it wasn't, which just shows like as a professional theater person, like he delivered. Oh, that does make sense though. Oh, that does make sense. The intro to all those episodes sound very similar. Like it could have been a pre-record, but it could just be a script. Because if you're in theater, you need to be able to deliver the same performance from one night to the next. It seems so obvious, but it takes me forever to catch up to like why he sounds the same. It's because like that's his training. Anyway, all right. So what's my pocket, dude? I had no idea what to do today, so like I'm phoning this one in. Similar to the way I sneak in last night's like ad read for Mr. C the week before 2 weeks before like where I would like shoehorn the title of the episode in there. Uh Sometimes I come up with a random idea on Saturday and I gotta try to justify why this is what you guys got today. And the justification is it's still early into year three. We've talked in passing about some of the things that we want to work on this year. So I was like, I got nothing to do. I'm like, I got no post office research. I got zero from Monday. But then like late Saturday, I started putting it together. So here's what you guys get. This week's what's in my pocket, the rabbit hole, is all the year three projects that are currently slated. Um, we just got back from Comic Con. Not we, just life just got back from Comic Con. So it's not uncommon for like Marvel to jump in and be like, here's the next 3 years, 4 years worth of stuff. Like here's what phase 6 and 7 looks like. Um, the end of the year or the beginning of the year. It's not uncommon to be like, let's look forward. Here's what our goals were this year, and here's what we plan on next year. Or at the beginning of the year to be like, here's what we're looking at forward, and here's what we did back here. So because our year starts in the middle of the year, uh, I'm like, hey, let's take a second. And this is like, let me spend a lot longer than I thought I was. Shit, sorry. Um, of what I plan on doing this year. We said there was more video. That's all we said. So I'm just gonna kind of break some stuff down for you guys real quick. Um, so we were working on some new limited series themed episodes, right? One of them that I keep talking about is movies that made us. So that's Ben's logo. Okay. Again, here's where we're going to compare Ben's logos to Kelly's logos. But I have another one after this. But one of the other things I mentioned on Saturday is, hold on. What do you mean it's not rewound? The movie that made us. Dude, so that's the intro, right? Because it's not its own show. It's going to be a CTW presents, right? So I put together VCR sounds, right? Most people probably won't even like Liam will. JJ, I would almost put money says he would not recognize the VCR noises. Sophie, probably never. Um, but yeah, so I did the VCR and I threw Jay Sarge's theme underneath it. Um, it was just a little cutesy, nothing crazy. Um, like it doesn't need a full production of a brand new like theme, but yes, I got 22 seconds of a new theme, the intro to movies that made us, and then the other one that we're working on. Now, here's the funny thing: it's nostalgia tour, right? Those are four different versions of Ben, right? Because that's what the nostalgia tour is trying to remember all those versions of Ben. That's what Ben comes up with for a logo idea. Is let me just like clip art and crop things on top of things. It looks cute. It looks very Ben, right? But let's get back into like uh 11:45. Yeah, right there. Look how good this one is. Look, like that. That's that's the work I could charge people for and be like, hey, you need a logo? Let me make you like I have a logo lady. Give her like, you know, 2 to 4 weeks and she'll come up with something. And she comes up with like that. Me, dude, I just like bastardized my logo. I'm like, let's just put it in front of a VCR. I'm gonna make it staticky in the back, make it look like it's a TV screen, maybe. Or I'm like, hey, let's just take the regular. Oh, where'd you go? Yeah, let me just take the regular gnome and just fucking put a hat on him and a bowling pin in front of him. Like, dude, that's the difference between like talent and borderline crazy. So, uh, but I think it's the combination of the like you need this version to get to the next version, right? Because like part of me was like, what does the logo from Nostalgia Tour look like? Um, so it's some like we could probably do something a little cutier with it, where we play with the screens a little bit. I don't know. It's not like this is what I come up with, and I enjoy it. But that's fucking hilarious. I love that. So we got those two for sure themed episodes coming out. eventually at some point. But then here's a concept idea. I was real super cagey about it on Saturday. It should be in the mail midweek for half of the piece for it. So now I'm just, since I can't work on anything all week, all I can do is think of other ideas. Um, and one of the things I came up with is this concept idea. We got was that a dad and a little girl gnome in a fucking forest? I don't know what we're gonna do with that. If you guys can't figure that out, like, stay tuned. I want to work on something um, with this concept. I don't know what it looks like fully yet. I think we need to get both pieces. I got to talk to Sophie and figure out what she would want to do, um, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I'll keep you guys all updated once we get all the pieces in. Um, but I think this idea is going to be fun. They won't be long. I can't see them being longer than like 7 to 12 minute episodes. But this one, because the video again, this is where the video is going to come in. Is like I'm going to learn to play with some props, maybe a set, play with the green screen a little bit, um, and we're going to play with some of the limitations that we have, and see if we can make something that looks actually really really cool with it. I talked in code with grandma yesterday, other grandma, and she knew what I was getting at, so she supports. She's big on it. Okay, so other video projects, right? We got we got Whimsy in your house or cribs. I don't even know what this like. I don't know what to call this thing. But I want to go into people's houses and I want to record like what's in the box. Is was the original because I'd be in the garage and I'd put something in a box and it'd be like but same concept is I want to go to someone's house. You find five knickknacks or the most important like the most important knickknacks in your house or pictures or paintings or something. And like I'm not doing like a full tour of the house like cribs, but I would like to video them talking about it, and then like a different question in between. So it'll be like 10 questions. It would be, um, you know, tell me about this 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 thing, and then they tell it, and then I'd be like, I go back and be like, what was your greatest fear as a kid? And then we go find the next thing, and then we find another personal question. So we're gonna work on that, and then games and challenges. This goes back to the game changers idea. Game changers, Taskmaster. I watched a bunch this year. I ran it by Nikki for a minute, and I'm gonna start trying to record some games and some challenges with the kids, with whoever wants to play, and see if I can cut them together to make like a 15 or 20 minute episode of something. To be like, we'll see. This one doesn't seem that hard. I prefer to cool down before we go out and do more of this, but I'm already thinking about the different tasks and or games that I want everybody these kids to play. So we got some video projects coming out. Obviously Chronicons, TuSCon. So obviously there's gonna be some video of that. Um, but these two projects are gonna be kind of interesting. Whimsy Publishing, I do need to get on top of a couple of people because I need feedback on this stupid book. Because I told you I wanted to make a book before TuSCon, which is in November. I need to come up with a cover. I need to finalize the format of the book. I need a week to put it together, and then I need these took these books forever, and then I need like 3 weeks, 2 weeks to get them all shipped. So early November, 3 weeks is mid September. Where are we at now? Okay, so we got like 6 weeks before I have to start finalizing everything. So we got the Soul Collector, Devil's Ledger book. Those have been short story list book of short stories. So we're gonna publish that, and then there's a super secret idea um, that I can't. I really don't want to like hint too much at it right this second, but I think it would be more. It's oh, you could easily figure that out if I said that. I have a super secret idea that I want to work on. Small series, uh, very small stories, but a series of them. But we'll see. So, like, I'm looking to get back into the publishing stuff. Um, what happens if Mr. C wants to throw in all his like writings? And I don't know. I think it'd just be kind of cool to have extra books because like those yearbooks are amazing, right? So I love the idea of the yearbook, and it's very simple. So anybody interested in publishing anything, let me know. I can get that shit online. I can get you a handful of copies or as many copies as you want fairly quickly. Paperback is way cheaper than hardback. Just FYI, like way by like 60% cheaper, 50% for sure. Um, but I'm looking at publishing, and it's so weird because like we're 4 slides into this thing, and you're like, oh my god, he's already thinking of doing too much, but it really isn't as much as we've done the first 2 years. Like the first 2 years, there's always been 2 new shows, a new book idea, and some video. So like we're right on track. We're right on pace. Um, I don't remember what's on this thing. Whimsy Studios. Um, obviously, we want to build that up a little bit. Here's this one's going to get interesting. This one I need to get a little bit more um, business talky with somebody. I really need to bounce ideas on what this looks like more. So we have 2 podcasts already that kind of came out of Fan Fusion. I'd like to get 2 more, and I would like then to officially start Whimsy Studios, the podcast network, and help. Right. Um, Last week I showed you all the like what a package would look like that Whimsy Studios would give you as a new podcast. So I really want to put that together. I would like to find at least 2 more podcasts to kind of play with. Side note, I'm fucking distracted. I talk a lot with my hands. There may or may not be a new camera that has like an AI feature that I could do this and it would zoom in and out, and then it may follow me. So the idea that I do this, like sometimes I talk with my hands, I'm like nobody knows, but when you do this, it just like wigs out real hard. Anyway, um, yeah, I want to get 2 more, and then I want to figure out how I want to start building the model of what Whimsy Studios does for those 4, and how we cross promote each other, and how do I add value to Whimsy Studios to the point where I can start charging for value. Um, but we'll see. Um, it's not a lot of extra work outside the initial package, right? Like the Cine Amigos, I'm helping them 1 more time this Saturday for a small tweak. But after that, like Mr. C is not asking me for any help or anything because he's got it. So how do I make money on it? That's where I'm at right now. And it's not to make money, it's compensating for the time and slash some of the things that I want to offer, I'm currently paying for. Um, I pay for Social Pilot. So if there was this idea, like if Wednesday Studios is like, hey, I will send out, you know, a release of every new episode. Like, yeah, they could do that themselves, but if we can add some legitimacy to it, it's like if you want the extra promotion, Like, so we'll see. I just don't know how to breach that conversation of being like, where to monetize it. There has to be a way to monetize the thing. I try to get a little bit out of suggested articles when they were on. Um, like, how do so somebody pays? Oh, all right. I think I got part of it. Somebody comes in to Whimsy Studios and is like, "We're gonna give you you got a dozen shows under you. We're gonna cut you this fat check to do some ad reads across as many of your podcasts as you can." So then the idea is as I take the buttload and then I have to farm out some of those funds to all the different podcasts that do the ad read, but I keep my percentage, right? So uh, I can't come up with a fucking widget international is like we want you to sell some widgets. Here's fucking $1,000. So what? I take a whimsy percentage off, and then I divide up the rest of it and pay the other podcast to do the ad read. Like that doesn't seem wildly wrong because they're getting paid. So we'll see. But yeah, all MC Studios to get back up there. And then there was one more.
Pull up a
Nope, we're done. Um, so this is just a handful of ideas. We're gonna see some video. We're gonna see because I'm already we got 5 episodes of movies. I gotta get in the headspace to really get into the nostalgia tour. Like the nostalgia tour works is motivationally works a little bit better when I'm depressed. But then I'm like all like scared and nervous about what will be said, so then I'm not. So I gotta kind of find that happy medium between the two. Um, books, video. It's gonna be a fun year. The year 3 yearbook is gonna look pretty good. I promise you. Um, we got a commercial for the Cinemigos guys. We're gonna be talking with them on next Sunday. So next Monday's episode, we're gonna hang out with them. It'll be video, so um, that will be fun and interesting. Kind of like what we do with suggested articles. So my screen, their screen. We all screen for ice cream.
chair for passionate film talk. We're thrilled to announce Cinema Amigos, the exciting new podcast that's about to become your go-to for all things film. Join host Pablo and his friend as they embark on an in-depth journey through their most beloved movies. Each episode is a lively conversation filled with unique perspectives, insightful analysis, and an undeniable love for cinema. If you're ready to deep dive beyond the surface and hear fresh takes on classic and contemporary films, Cinema Amigos is your perfect listening companion.
All right, everybody. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. They're the Addams family. Thank you, Kelly, for finding those for me. I'm like 20 minutes late on it. Is the Addams family? All right. We should do like whimsy, like whimsy sports book. Okay. We go to an adult, an older adult. Okay. You play them the intro to the Addams family, and then you stop it at the very end, right? And then see if mom, grandma, me, anybody else does the snap. And then you do it to Liam, and he's just like, "What do you want me to do? What are you talking about? What do you want me to do?" It's like one of those things where, like, old like 70s TV trained you to be like, "Hey, we want you to snap, dance monkey." um, yeah, we should bet. how many kids do we think more kids would? Obviously, the adults will, but then we bet, do the adults do it, and do any of the kids do it? Anyway, Patreon, Chasing the Whimsy, patreon.com/Chasing the Whimsy. Andy, Nikki, your family, Megan, your family, Joyce, Ann, Enderfrog, EC1, Gooster, Violet, Dad, Courtney, Kit, and Lasagna Hammer. Guys, thank you for your financial support. It does help out. We got merch. Like to be fair, without you guys, like I don't know how much merch I make because you fund you fund the majority of the merch. Somewhere I'm still dead even because shipping is fucking crazy. It's not crazy crazy. Like it's not like inappropriately crazy, but whatever was in the black is now like dead even. So it happens. But yeah, thank you guys for your support. You guys want to see more cool shit? Blankets, wooden tokens, books, coasters, ornaments. Like we're doing all kinds of cool stuff. I'm looking into like lotions and soaps. Like, can I get some like or candles even? Magnets, patches, um, plushes. We did a crocheted plush at one point. So, thank you guys. Like, it helps, and it means a lot that you guys like. You're all whimsy enough to be like, yeah, I want some of that sweet, sweet merch. And then we also raised some money for the holidays. I'm donating to the school from last year to help the low income families. And then Whimsy, Patreon, you guys, boom, you're helping us raise some money for Children's Hospital. Is probably what it's going to look like. I don't know. But yeah, we're raising some money, man. We're giving back a little bit. Other than that, I think that we're all done. Yeah, we're done. A little bit long. I fell down a couple of holes. I was like 3 minutes late. Thank you, Kelly. Uh, Post office, a couple of other points, but whatever. Fuck it. I got nothing else to do. I already took a nap. Oh man, we're gonna have some teriyaki chicken. Thank you, Mom. Um, Next week will be interesting. There may or may not be a new camera. I will have a thing right here. Uh, Interviews with another podcast. Like year 3 is killing it right now. We have one. I'm gonna end you guys with this before I whimsy out. My cousin owns an island. Might be my favorite episode so far of year 3. Whimsy.